Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to another fantastic episode in which we want to take advantage of this great tool to test a lot of different setup. And yes, you guessed it, this is the Alliance Honor match, and in this episode we're gonna test the following setups: Brady with Shinji and Abat. Now here I have to mention that I have specifically tuned down Shinji to level 5 exclusive skill in order for this comparison to make sense. The next setup which we're gonna test in this episode is gonna be Brady with Shinji and Asuka. The third setup which we're gonna test in this episode is gonna be Brady with Abat and with Asuka, all of them with level 5 exclusive skill. So yes, without the hero with indestructible buff. And of course, one of our viewers have asked me to test the following setup, which is Brady, Abat, and Mr. Kai, all with level 5. Shout out goes out to Mr. Chihanjir Wisal. I hope I pronounce your name correctly, at least I tried to. So anyways, before we start, let me show you the setup in which we are testing. So first of all, important informations. We're gonna use the new Heavy Trooper. I'm gonna show you also in a second the chip setup. Another important information is my march size, which is in total 300% if we also take in consideration those 24 units coming from the Shark formation, the reinforcements, so it's 300 units, and my opponent has a march size of 358. Of course, my opponent is Navy, you see here Crimson, Lila, and Gypsy. Let's go briefly into the attributes because I have to show you the Heavy Trooper setup. Of course, here it is, the new Heavy Trooper, and here is also the setup with the chips. You can briefly pause the episode and take a screenshot. And of course, always the heroes will gonna have the perks on and the same skills and so on. And if you're also curious, we can have a look at my stats for the Air Force. This is pretty much gonna remain the same. Good. So now let's start with the first setup which we are testing in this episode is Mr. Brady with Shinji and Abat. All three heroes have a level 5 exclusive skills, and here are the 40 battle reports, of course, being sorted. And again, I have to mention, the lower the value, the higher the performance. So I have marked here in green just one single battle, which you see there, minus 12.50%, which means, in other words, yes, indeed, I have won that battle. And you're also gonna see me marking a couple of fields in red, and I have chosen to mark everything till 70%, which represents the amount of units still left on my opponent. So that's why you see here 4 fields marked in red. So here is the overall average of these 40 battle attacks. It's a 49.96% average. Good. Let's jump now into the second setup which we are testing in this episode, and that's Brady with Shinji and Asuka. Again, all three of them have level 5 exclusive skill. And here, again, you see only one field marked in green, which is the best value, though I didn't won. This is a positive value, meaning my opponent still had 27% of units left on his march. And of course, you see me marking here 8 fields in red because, as I said, I will mark all the battle reports till 70% units still left on my opponent march. So let's carry on and see the other two setups, and then we're gonna compare everything together and also draw some conclusions. So yeah, it's definitely worth your time, or in other words, it's definitely worth for you to watch this video till the end. So in this case, a lot of people also ask me, how about Brady with Abat and Asuka, which means, in other words, yes, we don't have a hero with indestructible buff. And I'm gonna briefly address that, but let's have a look first at the results. And here you see me marking 6 fields in green, and those are, in this case, battle results in which I won. That's why you also see the negative percentage value. And you see only 3 fields marked, which is everything basically till 70% units still left on my opponent. And here is the average here of 39.31%, which is, yeah, sounds crazy. It is also good, but let me briefly address this setup right here. You guys know I literally have all the heroes, and theoretically speaking, I could play this setup, but I am choosing not to play this one because from my perspective, this is a very high risk, high rewards setup. And also I must add that I have invested in Shinji with level 7 since he came out, and that was literally when I started this YouTube channel back in November 2022. And Shinji, especially with level 7, it's absolutely crazy hero. But of course, who should use this setup? This setup looks great, the battle reports look great, the numbers look great, and of course, especially for the newer players which no longer have access to Striker or Shinji, because these are collaboration heroes, and you only have Mr. Duke, and probably you are using him on the Navy, or probably you're gonna use him on tank. You don't have an alternative. In other words, you don't have a hero with a solid indestructible buff. Quick side note here, up next week we're gonna have the new hero coming for the month of May, which is most likely gonna be Brunhild 2.0, a hero for the tanks. Of course, this channel will gonna bring this hero ASAP to 5 stars, also with level 5 exclusive skill, and we're gonna test that hero. And what I have to add here, rumors say we definitely gonna get a hero with the indestructible buff this year. Most likely from the collaboration, we still have a G.I. Joe 2.0 and the Kung Fu Panda 2.0 to happen this year. But there are also rumors that the hero after Brunhild most likely will be a hero with indestructible buff. So there is no panic, and actually this setup right here looks absolutely solid. There is no question about it. So now let's test the last setup, which is a special request from Mr. Chihanjir Wisal. Again, I hope I pronounce your name correctly, which is Brady, Abat, and Kai, all of them with level 5 exclusive skill. So let's put the battle reports on the screen, and here you see me marking only one field which has a negative value, which means in other words, yes, I succeeded to win that battle. And of course, you also see me marking 6 fields in red because those represent kind of the worst performance possible, up to 70% of units still left on my opponent. And of course, we see the average performance of this setup being a 51.41%. So dear beautiful people, all my videos are 1080p. In other words, I strongly suggest you to pause the video right now and take a screenshot of this. And you can look at these numbers more in detail. And my hope is actually that this is helping you. So the goal of this channel and the goal of all my videos is, one, to give you the analysis. In other words, get these items ASAP, test them, and show you guys the numbers. And of course, on top, what I'm adding is also my opinion, or in other words, my recommendations, which is, please pay attention, not set in stone. This is just simply my recommendation. What is super important are the numbers, and of course, getting these numbers as soon as possible so you guys can take a decision before you even haven't opened your wallet. So beautiful people, yes, I hope this video was yet another fantastic video and very important. It sure took me a while to produce it. In other words, don't forget to support what supports you back, which is this channel since Mr. Shinji came out, which is November 2022. So in other words, take a moment of your time, check if you are subscribed. Maybe if you want to give us an extra hand, then you can share this channel with your friends and recommend them to come and start watching the videos, because they are all free and knowledge in any game will give you an advantage. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to see me in the next episode. And yes, we are expecting the new hero Brunhild 2.0 to come up next week. Ciao, guys.